Yeah, exactly. That is what is that is the way it actually works. If water actually gets mixed up with something that is not supposed to be mixed up, and eventually, as a result, when it loses its geometry, that is where the problem begins. So there is, I mean, all these things could not be just coincidence. It could not be a result of evolution, right? Impossible. It could be some sort of design, a design that we don't understand as of yet. It's definitely a kind of a design, but what kind of design? Who did it? Who created it? Nobody knows.
Mm.
It's just a
It's yeah, it is a design. It's the most. It's like I said. It's that the most perfect geometry, dude. And this follows after everything that we find in nature to be beautiful partakes of this particular design, this particular geometry. It's called incommensurable geometry. Um, so anything beautiful follows this geometry, and the Fibonacci sequence is intertwined within all of that, which is why it's used with a lot of artists and whatnot. The whole Fibonacci thing, because it's intrinsically connected to this whole divine proportionality of this incommensurable geometry.
yeah. Why are these people crying on the chat? Like they're like, let's try this violation of rule number two, name calling insults. This Felkami guy, isn't he a globe earther or is he? So what's the matter with this guy? I didn't say anything to him.
I don't know. I'm driving. I haven't looked at it. What's he saying?
Yeah, they're crying. They're like, I'm name calling them. I'm insulting them. I mean, they are insulting themselves. They believe that the Earth is a globe. So what more do I need to do? I mean, I don't need to say anything to these people in the first place. I mean, these people are such. It was them who
Well,
started.
never fight with a fool, because onlookers might not be aware.
Seriously, bro, they are just tiring. They're enervating, bro. These people. I don't know when these people will actually open their eyes. I mean, even after what happened 3 years ago, they are not able to see through all this bullshit. It's just, I mean, then what does it take for them to open their eyes? Like that is what I'm actually wondering. It's not. It's not the fact that they're being brainwashed. I get it. Brainwashing is going on everywhere. And there are a lot of shills as well. You know what I mean? Like I was talking about the other day about the Tesla thing. There are shills and all these mustache guys walking around. But what happened in the last 3 years, 4 years actually. It's 2024 right now. What happened in the last 4 years should show everyone. What's really going on. It's not even a debate. Before that, yeah, I used to find it difficult to tell people about any of this because it wasn't obvious, right? Even though there were certain occasions where you can see it obviously, but then most of the times it wasn't obvious. But what happened in the last 4 years should show everyone what's really going on. But even then, these people are like, they're just ignoring it. I don't know. I think they're just ignoring it. They just don't want to see it. So if someone doesn't want to
Well,
see it, they're wasting our time.
this is a big problem with beliefs, feelings, thoughts, and opinions. People become so attached to their beliefs where they personally identify with their beliefs, and anything that goes against their beliefs is a direct attack upon their personal character. And this is where beliefs start getting very dangerous, right, and blinding. So people need to wake up to that and have a little bit more of an open mind as to other possibilities, and not just be beholden to their beliefs.
Yeah, exactly. Beholden to their beliefs, and that is the only way you can actually find out something. If you're just believing something that you're being told, and you do not want to think ahead of it, or review it, or anything like that, then what's the point? I mean, you're just wasting time. Just you're just like a fucking robot. You simply cannot think. The ability
It's
to
called
think.
it's called hubrism. Never looking for the answers to the answers you think you already have, and this is their biggest downfall right here. is they have a certain way of perceiving reality, and they're not willing to perceive reality any other way. And anything that gets brought up contrary to how they're perceiving it, being particle interaction, is just refuted and dismissed outright. And that's a big
Exactly.
problem. That's not how science works, dude. So
And
yeah.
not only that, their view is actually flawed. If you use common sense and critical thinking, their view is entirely flawed. It's not just flawed. I mean, it's just deceptive. It's kind of misleading in a lot of ways. Like if you start thinking about it, but then the problem is they don't think. That is the issue, right? They don't need evidence to prove their claims. They just need the so-called data, which cannot be trusted. I mean, just think about this. Let alone the whole C-19, the virus germ theory, the shape of the Earth thing. But at the very least, at least just say that the moon landing was not real. Come on, it wasn't. You don't need to be a genius to find that out. I get it. You don't need to be a so-called conspiracy theorist to get the fact that they didn't go to the moon. It's obvious. If I have to, explain that to you, like if I have to spend so much time, so much energy explaining something like that to a person like that, I mean, that means he's stupid. He's ready to believe anything that he wants to. Moon landing thing should be obvious. Come on now. It's kind of like the other day I just asked Witsit. He said it's a litmus test to see how intelligent or how dumb you really are. That's the simplest thing. The other things that we are talking about, it requires a lot more than just that. Or at least do that. Or at least in the last 4 years. What happened in the last 4 years should tell you that by now. That at the very least the moon landing was not real. But then even after all this, if you're still believing everything that you're being told by the mainstream media, then how on earth are you gonna I mean how on earth is anybody gonna help you? Like how can? Right? I mean these people are still out there. Everywhere. Cannot believe this. Shocking to me. I mean I'm like whenever I go to some flat earth or earth awakening servers, I don't expect these people to be there like the globies. But when I did, I mean they're everywhere. They're just floating around.
The curious people will show up. There are some subset of them who just want the drama, right? But you've taken the widest possible brush to describe them and their inability to think. It could be the case that every flat earther they've ever run into had terrible arguments, and so it's not only just undoing their globe beliefs, it's also correcting the really terrible flat earth ideas they've already heard and seen right through because they were bad to begin with.
Are you flat earther? Wait a second. Are you like what do you believe in? Like I never met you before, I guess, or did I? I don't know. Wait, what? Earth is a oh god. You're a globe earther. Do you also believe that the
Hold on. Well, with respect to things I do and interact with on my own, maintains that globe perception for me, right? So, like, I know it's easy to hand wave, especially groups of people. Like, oh, they just believe what they hear in the media or at school or whatever. But that's not the case for everybody, and that's an important distinction.
Yeah, but why would you believe that the Earth is a globe? Come on now, that is so. Isn't it obvious? Like, it's not a globe. Hello, are you there? Your voice is breaking. Any kind of critical thinker could actually think this through. Like if you look at the globe, you can clearly see that's not what we live on. It's obvious. It should not even be a debate. Well, I get it that people brainwash you, but then you said we don't trust the mainstream media anyway. So yeah, if that is the case, you need to look into it again. It doesn't make any sense. The globe. We don't live on a globe.
That's you've heard of the no true Scotsman fallacy, right? So that's exactly what you're doing right now. Like anybody who doesn't see this as obvious as I think it is, isn't trying, or is brainwashed, or is stupid, or is a liar.
Okay,
And
how
the
does
only
water?
possible smart person with
How does water behave like that? Oh, according to you, like how would? I don't know what to say. The question would be
yeah.
obvious. Do
No,
you
no,
really
no,
think do you really think if the globe is rotating, the water would remain static? Like, I mean, how does that work? That's illogical.
that's I love to try and think about it and hear the options.
Yeah,
5 minutes. I just
gravity.
wanted
Yeah,
to
yeah,
chime in. Like
yeah.
your
I know
brush is
what's
so
coming.
broad.
Gravity. Yeah, the gravity
What?
thing. The whole gravitational field. G is equal to m1
Hold on,
m2
hold
upon
on,
us.
hold
Yeah,
on. Maybe I'm just breaking up, but like I said, I wanted to chime in and say the brush you're painting, quote unquote, these people with is so unrealistically broad, and you got to look out for the no true Scotsman fallacy of determining people's motivations or mental capacities or honesty. And I do have to
listen,
head into a meeting, and I'll be around later.
it's just the way I listen. It's just the way I talk. Okay, I say what I actually think. I simply cannot fathom the fact that people still believe in all these things even after growing up. Like the moon landing of 1969, and they kind of make dumb excuses to prove that to be true. I mean, I have to literally fight those guys over the. Wait, what? Did he leave? Thank goodness. Oh my god, I would have lost my temper again. Cannot control it while talking to these people. This fallacy, that fallacy. What the fuck? All they need to do is to listen to themselves. That's it. I don't need to do any fallacy thing. Okay, Montreal, listen. I didn't say anything, okay? If you look at the chat, I just want to say this. Montreal, listen, I didn't say anything. Okay, they started it. They, they are the ones who actually begin chatting rubbish, oh, you child, oh, my child, you don't have a funny bone. I'm like, listen, I can say whatever I want, then you'll start crying. So that they are the ones who
Yeah,
started it. These people, yeah,
yeah,
if you
that's
look at
what
the chat,
usually happens. I understand, but you got to be aware of that and don't reciprocate, right? Don't let, because if we start playing tennis with insults, it's going to be one big insult. So trust me, I understand what you're saying, but don't fall prey to that.
Yeah, just be bigger, bro. I saw that. Like, you're not wrong, right? You're not. He's not saying like SE isn't even
he,
saying you're wrong. It's just like
he
if
replied,
you
he
retaliate,
replied,
then it becomes your fault. You know what I'm saying?
he replied, when I start slapping you hard, your flattered lot will start crying. Yeah, yeah. That goes for all of you as well because you're flattered lot. He was the
Yeah,
one who
but we
started
can't
it.
we can't do that, bro. If we start doing that, they're gonna win. You see,
Yeah.
their
They're
game
never
is
gonna.
to do to you
They're never
exactly
gonna.
what's happening right now, right? That's their objective.
They-
Their objective is to get you off tilt, right? To make you tilt. So keep that in mind. Don't